once again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining me today. Hi, my name is Hannah. There is a ton of glare on my glasses today. It cannot be helped. It's probably for the best because my makeup is not the best today. I tried some new techniques. I busted out some new products. It didn't go the way that I wanted it to, and I'm feeling very much like a cake face right now. It feels very heavy. But anyway, despite my appearance, hello, welcome to my channel. I make a lot of different videos here on YouTube. A lot of the times they are story times though, because y'all request them. You're like, please God, give me more. And I'm like, okay, yes, my children, here you go. So that's what I do here. Also about the glare, I was going to talk about this and immediately forgot. About the glare, I have ordered some softbox lighting and it should be here next week. I'm filming this on Thursday, so tomorrow's video, this should be tomorrow's video. So next week, the last week of January, or I guess it probably starts February too. I don't know. But anyway, it should be here. So after the videos that I filmed today, my lighting should be very improved. So that's cool. And once again, I want to thank you guys all for watching me, because if you guys didn't watch me, I wouldn't get any AdSense money and I would not be able to buy these soft boxes. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are helping to improve the channel here. So that is awesome. You're awesome. Thank you. Now, I know that I'm rambling. I always ramble. If you're new here, I'm very sorry. I always ramble. People always comment and they're just like, get to the chase. You're so boring because you talk in circles. But that's just who I am. So if you don't like that, there are a lot of other YouTubers who are a lot more concise than I am. So I do recommend that you find somebody else if you don't like someone who rambles, because I do ramble. I don't script my videos. I don't do that kind of thing. I just come on here, talk to you guys straight, like from my brain to my mouth to your ears. So that's what happens here, okay? It's not scripted. It's not really planned. It's just me talking. So let's get into this video, because if you saw the title, then you know it's another Jennifer video. Wow, shocking. She's done more crazy things. Let's get into it. So as you guys may or may not know, I was working full-time during Christmas, but now that school is back in session, I have switched back to working only weekends. So that means when I come into the store on Friday mornings, I get to hear a lot of stuff about what Jennifer has done throughout the week. Wow, this glare is horrible. I'm really sorry. We won't have to deal with it much longer. But anyway, Friday mornings when I walk in, I get to hear about how crazy insane Jennifer has been throughout the week. So last week, for example, so last Friday, I walked into work, everything's normal. And then, after we put out the jewelry and everything, Elizabeth takes me into one of the offices and she's like, I have to tell you what happened with Jennifer this week. And so I'm like, oh God, okay, what happened? I'm thinking, there's been some kind of confrontation. They've gotten into a fight, whatever. So I said, what happened? And she said, well, I was off work on Wednesday. So when I came back to work on Thursday, it was her and Ashley working together. It was Elizabeth and Ashley. And the boss, they're all putting out jewelry, they're talking, whatever. And the boss says, well, I hope that today goes better than yesterday. And, Elizabeth, she wasn't working the previous day, so she said, oh, well, what happened? And he said, well, anything would be better than what happened yesterday. And she said, what happened? So the owner proceeds to say, well, Jennifer was having a bad day and she was screaming at customers and like cussing at customers, and she made a lot of people upset, and she got up in Ashley's face and she got up in, the jeweler's face and all this kind of stuff. And she was just screaming and cussing and hollering at customers and everybody. And when Elizabeth told me that, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, now it's not just us all witnessing this and customers just witnessing this. The owner witnesses it firsthand. He's seeing it firsthand and he's telling people like telling Elizabeth about it. And she's just like, are you serious? So what she said after he said all that, you know, she was like, oh my gosh, you know, what did you do? Like, what did you say to her? And he was like, well, there's nothing I can really do or anything I can really say to her. She just, you know, she hasn't been taking her medication and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you're the owner of the store. There's nothing you can do or nothing you can say. I'm like, are you really? Okay. And I mean, me and Elizabeth and Ashley have like discussed her behavior many times before. And, you know, we are theorizing basically that there is something wrong with her, because we know she takes medication. We just don't know what for. But we know that there is something like wrong with her mentally, okay? But we do not think that that is what causes her attitude, because it's not like she's always crazy. I mean, she is always crazy, but it's not like any mentally ill person I've ever witnessed before. It's just not. It's like, this is just who she is, okay? Because I don't buy it. I don't buy that that's what's wrong with her. If that's the case, if it was like something really, really wrong with her, she wouldn't be working. She's worked at doctor's offices in the past, okay? Like actual doctor's offices. I don't think they would have employed her. Like, I don't think that there's something seriously wrong with her mentally that she or anybody else knows of. I just think that this is her personality. This is just how she is. Here's my theory, okay? I think that what it is that she has her whole life told people, you know, I have a mental illness or something. And then she uses that excuse, she uses it as a crutch, and she gets through life without having any consequences for her actions. That's what I think. And that sucks, because that kind of behavior makes employers and other people not take mental illness seriously. Because mental illness is very, very serious, okay? I struggle with mental illness. I know a lot of people that struggle with mental illness, anxiety, depression, BPD, stuff like that. This is not like that. This is like somebody who is using the excuse of mental illness, but she never says what mental illness. She never told the boss what mental illness, nothing. She just says, oh, I have to be on medication. I think that she uses it as an excuse so that there are no consequences for her actions and that she can just behave as erratically as she wants with no consequences. I think that that's the case because, like I said, I know a lot of people who struggle with mental illness. Ashley struggles with mental illness, and, you know, she has never behaved that way, ever. I've never witnessed somebody who, like, functions on a day-to-day basis with a mental illness ever behave the way that Jennifer does. Ever. Point blank, period. I've never witnessed that. I don't think anybody with an actual mental illness, like not a debilitating mental illness, okay? Hers is not debilitating. And mind you, she has a son and a daughter who are both adults. Completely normal, very nice people. They don't act out, they exhibit no signs of mental illness at all. And I'll tell you, mental illness is hereditary, okay? My dad has mental illness. His dad had mental illness. It's like a hereditary trickle-down effect, okay? If one of your parents or both of your parents has a mental illness, there's a very good possibility you will also have some kind of mental illness. Might not be the same one, but you will probably have a mental illness of some kind. The severity, who knows, you know? But her son and daughter have no sign of mental illness at all. She's never clear, which, I mean, she doesn't have to say, you know, this is what I have, but like she never told the boss or anything. like he has no idea. She just takes medication that she hasn't been taking. I don't know. It's a very unclear situation, and I just really think that she's using the blanket statement of mental illness as a crutch and as an excuse for her erratic behavior. Because at this point, I believe that the boss is afraid to fire her because of her behavior, because he's probably afraid that she's gonna sue him or something of that nature and say that he was discriminating because she has mental illness or something like that. But at this point, I just feel like she's gotten away with so much that if she never gets fired, then she's gonna drive this store into the ground. Because how many stores do you want to go to where a random woman is screaming at you and cussing at you when you ask her a question? How many of you, please raise your hand, how many of you want to go into a store like that? Because I don't. I don't want to work in a place like that. I don't. She has no consequences. Nobody will say anything to her, apparently, other than me. I confronted her that time, and you guys heard how that went. If not, check out my Storytime playlist or my Jennifer series playlist, videos in that. But it just makes me super, super sad about this situation, because I know that there's nothing really, really wrong with her. I just know that she's a very good manipulator, and that she has realized that if she says that she has a mental illness, you know, no specifics, if she says, I have a mental illness and that I have to take medication, that people will let her crazy behavior slide. But even Ashley has told the boss, you know, I have this mental illness. It's not anxiety or depression. It's a slightly more, I don't know what you would call it, more serious mental illness. Like it's more life altering. And she's like, I have this mental illness. I've never behaved that way. I take medication. I control it. I can behave like a normal person. She could also do that. Whatever she has, we don't know what she says she has. And it's just like, people with mental illness are telling you that is not the way mentally ill people behave. Like, yes, mentally ill people behave in kind of a strange way, and sometimes it can be erratic and weird, but like, nobody is that ugly and nasty. I'm sorry. It doesn't, no, nobody would do that. That's, no, like, it's just, I don't believe it, okay? Anyway, I can already feel the hate comments I'm going to get from this video, because I don't believe that Jennifer has a mental illness, or not as serious of one as she says she does, because it's just, it doesn't add up, you know? And it makes people with actual mental illnesses look bad because of the way that she behaves. I 100% feel like it is an excuse so that she can do whatever she wants with no repercussions. That's how I feel. I'm sorry if you disagree, but I deal with her pretty frequently, and that's just what I believe. I've been around a lot of mentally ill people. None of them have ever been as rude and nasty and insane and just totally crazy as her. Like, I don't want to say crazy, but the way that she behaves is just that of a manipulator. It's not so much as a mentally ill person, it's as a very manipulative, just mean person, okay? And I know mental illnesses can make you behave that way, but let me tell you, this is not that kind of case, okay? Because no, it's not. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain it other than how I've already explained it. So, whatever. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe, because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.